Hello and welcome to another Xterra video where I work on my truck. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. And I'm coming back to continue working on my truck today, since I discovered that I have an issue with the engine mounts. And I'm losing the daylight already, it's getting late. Just came from work, but I need to work on my truck. It's been immobilized for almost half of the week already, and I need my truck back. I need it to drive around. So I'm probably gonna, I don't know how I'm gonna record it, maybe even not gonna record it, guys. I don't know, honestly, because it's gonna get dark soon, but I need to get working on my truck. I have plans for the coming weekend, and throughout the week I work full hours, so the time is limited. But anyways, this time around I didn't order from Rock Auto, but I went with a Z1 off-road. I got the engine mounts delivered today, and here they are. Sure enough, it's a Nissan. Supposedly it's a genius part, and I called in my local Nissan dealer and I was quoted over $400 for both of them, and that's a little bit too much for me. But this, I feel like this is a good deal. This is way cheaper than from Nissan dealer, and hopefully it's a better build quality from the ones I have installed right now, which only lasted me like about a year, if so. So now I'm gonna start working on my truck, gonna start loosening up all the bolts, put the jack underneath the engine, slowly lift it up and replace it. Like I was saying, I'm probably not gonna record it because I already have a video on that, but this is just an update that sometimes getting cheap parts, it's not worth it. So hopefully this part's gonna last me. I'm not too sure if you are supposed to grease this over time, because this is just top part. I think what happened is mine, because they was just poorly built, that's why they cracked and broke. So hopefully I'm not gonna have an issue with this. So this is the current state of the engine mounts. As you can see, this is my driver's side. It has a huge crack in there. That's unfortunate. And this is the passenger side, has a crack in there as well, so that's not very good. So now I'm gonna start working on removing these bolts, this one bolt and two bolts on top, and that should be it. It's so much easier now that there is to access these bolts, because there is no differential in a way. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it now instead of when the differential is in its place. So I'm gonna work on that, removing that, swapping it up, and start putting everything back together. So first I'm gonna start by removing those two bolts on the side. It's hard to see them, but they're right there, one, and over there is a second one. So gonna take those out, well, gonna loosen them all up on both sides, and then start removing the bolts from the bottom. And once again, we'll be supporting the engine with a wooden block on a jack. Whenever I loosen up all the bolts, just gonna jack it up about an inch, maybe inch and a half, just enough clearance to remove those mounts. Now with a lot of extensions and a 17mm socket all the way in the bottom of there, gonna try to break them loose. Let's see how hard is that gonna be now. Okay, it's in. Wish me luck, guys. Okay, I heard something. Hopefully I broke it loose and not just broke it. That's what I'm always afraid of. Alright, we got one. Alright. Now that the top bolts are loose, I'm gonna break loose this bolt and then these two bolts on each side, and then just take my time, drive the bolts out, support this, lift it up, and start replacing it. Hopefully it all goes well. So once again, they're 17mm. Alright, that one is loose. How about that one? Okay, we broke that one loose. Alright, I'm sorry about the camera angles, guys. It's hard to record laying in your back, but it is what it is. Alright, now that there is no front differential, let's see how hard or easy it's gonna be to take those out. But already, just to get to them, it's so much easier. Now I'm gonna try to break them loose. Gotta make sure it sits all in there. Alright, That's so much easier than it was before. Okay, great. Alright guys, so all the bolts are loose. Now I'm gonna take my time, remove them, supporting the engine, lift it up, and gonna replace the holders and put the bolts back. Not gonna record that part because I'm gonna be too concerned about not dropping the engine on myself, so please forgive me. Alright, so I'll see you guys hopefully in a little bit. If you don't see this video, that means I didn't make it. Alright guys, so the sun is long time gone, but I'm still working. I got all the bolts on top are off. The one on the passenger side closer to the firewall was giving me a lot of trouble. I was not getting a right angle to get to it. I don't even know how I got it last time. Anyways, I got it out. So now I'm gonna work underneath, removing those bolts, and yeah, and then I can start swapping the mounts itself. Okay, so gonna start lifting up the engine. Okay, let's see if I can remove them. Wow. Okay, one is out. Let me put one in place. I think I need to lift up more. For some reason the new ones don't want to really go in right away. Alright, let me remove the other one and maybe I can lift the engine more.
A few moments later.
One bolt from the engine mount, that one goes on from the bottom on the passenger side. It was giving me a hard time getting out, so I have a bunch of leftovers from when I did the body lift, and they're exactly the same bolts, they're exactly the same grade, and they're in better shape. So I just put new one bolt in there and it went in like butter. So it's always good to save some bolts.
2,000 years later.
Alright guys, it's actually been some time since I did the work. Unfortunately the assembling and the ending of the video was lost, so I'm actually have to re-record this, but everything got assembled, everything is put back together, and like I said, this is already my third time working on it, third time raising it up with oil pans, so it's completely safe. I did it 2 times on my truck and 1 time on my friend's truck. Just take your time, be very careful when you're lifting up the engine, watch out for your fingers, you don't want anything to drop and squeeze your fingers in there. But like I said, luckily everything is done, everything is put back together, and now it's much better again. Of course, I'm gonna leave all the links in the description to these new engine mounts that I used from Z1. They were way cheaper than from a dealer, but a little bit more expensive than the ones I bought before, but they didn't last anyways. So on this note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you might find it helpful, and as always, until next time, everybody, bye.